Good evening. It is Monday, August 21st, 2023 at precisealgorithmtrading.com. And I want to start here with oil tonight and talk about really price action, what's going on here, and what my next move is that I'm looking for. So I did a deep dive over the weekend and I created a new indicator called MoZones. And the deep dive that I'm doing is really it's going to be an ongoing little challenge, but it's um, really momentum, and it's zones of momentum and momentum itself, and see what I can come up with for a really a reliable indicator to be able to trade off of. And so, if you look at oil here, it's been coming down, and I was like talking about it got over the Harvard lines, and I'm expecting it to come out down really and bounce here at some point, either at the gold Harvard line or between the two lines. But I'm using that, and then obviously the reason I'm talking about the MoZones is because it is actually it's a red indication right now. So is the True Momo, and um, we're gonna get, if you come see here, when it turns green, then you got a better shot at the price moving higher, and that tends to go along with True Momo, which is good. And my EMA's indicator here. Um, so really, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to watch that, and it's going to be a part of my arsenal going forward. Um, Not to say I can't obviously modify it and augment it, or even come up with something better, but I did a lot of work with it this weekend. So there. And I actually did short oil today just for really a quick play to the downside. All right, let's flip over to SPX, the S&P 500, where we got a little bit of a bounce today. It's a Bollinger Band bounce. It's because it came outside the Bollinger Bands and then it came back up into it. We have a VIX bounce that happened today. I'll pull up the VIX. So in the Bollinger Bands, the VIX goes outside the Bollinger Bands and then comes back in. We actually got that bounce on Friday. So the follow through today to the downside on the VIX actually, helps with it might be a one-day wonder on the S&P. Probably not. We're probably going to come up at least into this zone in here, and then we'll start to see some potential diagonal resistance to the downside, and I'm going to watch for a break to the upside if that if that could happen. So, and in the meantime, back to the MoZones, we're red here, but we're starting to come back up, and on the hourly chart over here, we've come up, retested, and we're going higher. So we're still well above zero over here, and it's obviously a pullback situation on the weekly. We'll see how this works out. I would actually continue to see. I would expect continuation to the downside, at least a little bit, maybe a retest in this zone before it goes higher. If it breaks to the downside, we're probably in a world of hurt as far as the economy goes. But we're also in a presidential cycle and a presidential election cycle, I should say. So there's going to be some interesting noise in the markets here, for the relative middle term, medium term. Here's the Dow, and so same kind of stuff going on, really, almost across the board. It's not as hard of a sell-off, which it's been holding up better really lately anyway. The Nasdaq actually got a really nice bounce today. It's obviously been the strongest. It's the tech stocks have been the strongest stocks for a long time now. Although that's a heck of a fall before we get a chance to potentially rally here. We don't have any buying indication yet in True Momo, so just be clear of that. Unless you're going to go totally off of the hourly chart, and then you better, if you're going to go off the hourly chart, it's the way I've learned is you got to stick with the hourly chart. So if the thing rolls over again, you just got to kill your position. IYT transports, so real similar looking stuff. I still think we've got some downside to see here, or some just churn before this thing can go higher, although that is the 52-week high up there. So from this level, I'm going to be looking for the potential to start going and trying to retest those highs again. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in one fell swoop, I wouldn't expect. I can't see us getting a V bottom off of this, but stranger things have happened. And that's probably enough for tonight. So I'll flip over to stockcharts.com and type in bullish for the bullish percent indexes, and we'll do a quick run through the bullish percent indexes. The industrials tacked on 2 O's to the downside, so we lost 5% of the industrials. Went to from a buy signal, a point and figure buy signal, to a point and figure sell signal, or not a point and figure buy signal, which is really the case. So the NYA minus 1.17%. The transports didn't move. The NASDAQ actually up a little bit today, 0.49%, so not much. The SPX minus 0.72%. The OEX, which is the S&P 100, tacked on an O to the downside, but it went positive by 1.75%. So that's interesting. And the NDX formed new green X's to the upside. So that is a short-term bullish indication. That's not really a buy signal. It's just a short-term bullish indication in tech stocks, which kind of follows what we were just saying. And finally, our automatic trading systems. This is the Dow. Put in new green dots the other day, and we're trying to rally back up there, which is good. And this is our trading lately. Some wins and losses, but I think more wins than losses lately. The Russell hasn't been anything to be writing home about for this whole quarter. It's been more losses than wins, and it's quickly becoming not my favorite. And then the NASDAQ, which is rallying, and we've had quite a few more wins than losses lately, which is great. So the NASDAQ's still my favorite, and for what it's worth, full disclosure, in the NASDAQ and the Dow this weekend, I went ahead and added my MoZones to it to really whittle down and take out some trades. So it'll only work if it's in the direction of the MoZones, and therefore it's reduced the amount of trading that it does and continued to have the upside. In fact, it made the upside just a hair better. So with that, I'll leave you guys for tonight. Take care, good trading, and have a great night.